That's a sad go-to.
It is.
The fact that their go-to is that they hurt one of our players one time is such a sad way to go.
Yeah.
Alan Lazard. Yeah, you try to put him down low because maybe you won't see him.
John, any last words before we hop off here?
Go Pack, go, baby.
Go Pack, go. The one thing that's keeping me from taking the Packers to win by 30.
I don't care if you go to every game, what game. Not only that, but you are in the second row.
Yeah.
The second row, and you're going to try to tell me to sit down? Get lost.
Get freaking lost. Thank you all for tuning in, commenting. We love chatting with you guys. Enjoy the game. Check us out on Twitter at Rob Westerman3 for me, at JBeckman30 for John. Have a great rest of your day. Let's get a win and let's go freaking bear hunting. All right, we'll catch you guys later. Thank you.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman of GBP Daily. Joining me, as he always does for Pack Casual, is the one and only, and his little guy, Rowan, Johnathan Beckman. John, Rowan, how we doing?
How we doing, Rowan? How we doing?
We doing good, buddy, or what?
Good. I don't know if Twitter's working, by the way. If
It's for me, but I'll double check here in a second. Is it not working for you?
I don't see that it's on.
I'll pull it up here in a second. We're 8-2. How are we feeling?
Doing good. Defense, baby.
We got a defense, baby.
Yeah. Is that actually true for once? I don't.
That year it was not, but this year, I mean, a few weeks ago I would have been like, no, we'll wait, and I think I'm past that point where it's like, you know what, we actually might have a defense missing our guys. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, you know how these type of things go. We're gonna get our guys back, and then we're gonna not be good again.
Yeah, right. No, yeah, we come back and our defense doesn't do good with Jair and Z towards the end of the year. That's neither here nor there. We're 8-2. Looking back after week 1, John, are you surprised we went on a tear these last few months to get where we are, or did you expect it?
I guess. Gosh, what did I predict at the start of the year? We got 17 games.
Yep.
So
what, 4 losses or 3?
Did I say 13-4? I feel like I said 13-4. Yeah, I'm not sure. And I said what? I said losses probably to No, you said Arizona. I said Kansas City.
You're right.
I probably said at Minnesota, maybe.
I also said that game.
And
then I also said maybe the Niner game. I don't know.
The Niner game was in there. And
then for me, it was the Ravens too. On top of that,
yeah, Ravens was on there. So I guess I'm not. I'm not surprised we're 8-2. I feel like 8-2 is kind of where you and me probably thought we would be, in that 8-2, 7-3, 9-1 area. Anything worse than 7-3 would have been like, crap, what's going on at 6-4? But with the injuries that we have had, it wouldn't have surprised me either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and everything that's been going on. Obviously, Rodgers went out for a game because
it was kind of where you and me probably thought we would be.
We good?
Yeah, we good. It's working.
Good.
I'm making sure.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
I got mine on too. It's working good. Yeah, I'm with you. Some quick notes here before we dive in. As we all know, Whitney Merciless out for the year, torn bicep, which
damn,
it's just unfortunate. John obviously had a sack last game. Would have been a solid guy to have down the stretch of the playoffs, but he's done for the year and probably played his last game as a Packer, which stinks because he was kind of shaping.
Yeah. He was playing. He seemed to be doing what we kind of had hoped that he would at least contribute, not like what Jalen Smith did. No hate on him. Not trying to be rude, but come in and make a small impact. And
he did.
he did.
He was fitting in well, I thought.
Yeah, you saw him make a few plays a game, and that's what you need out of someone like him. Just don't be bad and make a few plays.
Step in, step up. Like
nobody's asking
much around here on the defensive side, and we seem to be getting failure after failure, especially
that really sucks, and especially at a bad time too with the injuries we got at that.
Now Rashawn. With that, Rashawn too hyperextended his elbow. He says he wants to play this weekend, but John, you and I both know how the Packers are with injured players. They usually take a better safe than sorry approach, which I'm okay with. So we'll have to wait and see for him. Aaron Jones, which when they announced on TV that he was crying out of the medical tent, I was afraid it might have been a season-ending knee injury, but thankfully it's only an MCL sprain, and looks like he'll be out for 1 to 2 weeks.
I think they said that's like the third time he's done that in his career.
Yeah.
I do remember he did it a couple years ago or last year or something like that, so I do recall that. But, I mean, like you said, Green Bay's always conservative on the injury side, so I could totally see them holding him out this week for obvious reasons, holding him out next week, having a bye week, and then having him come back after the bye against the Ravens. I could see that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like we have to have him versus the Rams. It'd be awesome to have him. But there's literally no reason to rush a guy at this point. Like, if there's anything that I've learned from this team is like, except for the Aaron Rodgers against Kansas City, is like we seem to be surviving without guys.
And we should have won that game, man. Anyways, we'll see.
I mean, I could see him being a comeback in a month thing.
That's cool with me. I mean, we'll stomp the Vikings. We'll probably stomp the Rams. So it is what it is. Other news: David Bakhtiari did not practice for a second straight day today. So the likelihood of seeing him out there this weekend isn't looking the best. I'm bummed not to see him.
Gosh, man.
But, I know it stinks. O-line coach Adam Stenovich said this today regarding him. It's going to be a grind for him. I think he's realizing that. So there's that. Any thoughts on those comments or just D-Bach in general? That didn't seem to be encouraging comments.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
like, are we going to not see him till the Ravens game too? Like, I mean, damn. I mean, I know these ACL injuries have always been kind of naturally year long, and it seems like we've been spoiled in the last 5 years, where it seems like you see guys get back a lot quicker than they used to, and it's more of a 9-month injury, which is why there was hope that he would come back in the first 3 weeks.
We even thought that maybe he was going to be on the IR, or even
we thought he'd be back maybe 2 weeks ago. Like now it seems like not this week. Like, so then next week after that, like bringing him back his first week against Von Miller and co.
No, that makes sense. Noah says, I hate to say it, but a guy that big isn't going to fully recover ever again. It may just explode the next time he goes 100%. I agree with you on the part where he's a big guy, so maybe that's taking longer for him to recover. But does anybody ever recover 100% from the ACL?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, Balaga, he did it twice.
I mean,
although I don't remember if that was the same knee or not. I couldn't. I think
it was. Or no, I don't know.
Stuff like that can definitely re-injure like muscle, tendons, ligaments. Stuff like that. Yeah. Whereas you're taught to think that the bones are kind of more like freak accidents. Like when Rodgers broke his collarbone, he didn't break his collarbone the second time because he broke it one time. It just was like, so I don't know. I mean, whatever. It just sucks. It's
like, man, we've been waiting and waiting. Now it's like, I waited so long. It's like when you're super hungry and then like you've waited so long to eat that you're like no longer hungry.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you're just mad. You're just mad.
It's like, damn, like, okay. So before we flip the page completely to Packers Vikings, which it is Vikings week, let's talk about the 17-0 win over the Seahawks last week. Our defense, as we were just harping on, been playing amazing, man. I'm genuinely surprised at how dominant they've been, especially obviously without Jair, without Zadarius, and even other guys like without Chris Barnes for a game or two, without Kevin King for a game or two. Like those guys have missed times. Does Joe Barry have some secret sauce, or like our players playing better? We have
it might
the
be.
same guys. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you're good. It might be what he had with the Rams, because I remember before the seasons. I remember what, and I might have said it when we were talking too. But what I had read, was, hey, the key to that Rams defense was their safety play, and
our safety play has been insane.
Ta-da! It's been our safety play. Yeah. Like they've been. I mean, the safeties have been. I mean, yeah, Darnell Savage doesn't have 7 interceptions, but hell, if you would have said that the dude's just making the plays and you don't see him messing up left and right, I would take that.
His name very much, like
Adrian Amos is just consistent as hell. I mean, those safeties are doing their job.
Like the play the other day was Savage, like. It kind of looked like a pass interference, but because he turned around, I think that's probably why they didn't call it when he got beat. I don't know who it was. I think it was one of their 3rd or 4th receivers along the sideline. He was wide open for a second. Russ took a while to throw, gave time to Savage to catch up because he's faster than hell.
Savage, exactly.
He's just quick. No, I agree. I think it's a combination of both. Obviously, Joe Barry is there doing the stuff, and pretty similar roster on the defensive side, and then you add guys like Stokes, Devondre Campbell. Stokes making a huge difference given Jair and King being injured at some point this year. Jair obviously a lot, and Devondre being one of the first like big time playmaking or solid linebackers, whatever you want to call that we've had for a while. Yeah. And as you alluded to, Amos and Savage playing great in the back end. Rashawn Gary impressing, getting pressures. I feel like this unit, like it plays together. They play off of each other. And one thing that I've noticed and everyone else has noticed is that they're fast, it seems like, which
they're fast.
You don't see, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Devondre Campbell can move. I mean,
and they all go to the ball. Like
Amos moves. I mean, he's not the fastest guy, but you always see him flying to the ball. Savage is fast. Our corners are all fast.
Yeah. Stokes, Savage for one of those two
can fly. I mean, they're 4.3, 4.4, 40 guys.
Yeah, and that's quick.
They're moving. They're just flying to the ball. But I mean, the key is, what you hear a lot on, from different analysts. I mean, that they're not wrong. The reason why Green Bay's defense has been playing so well and some of these better defenses is they're allowing for their 2 safeties to play too high, and they're stopping the run with 7 in the box. Well, you're set if you can stop the run with 7 in the box, but then also have 2 high safeties. Well, now you can stop both run and pass a lot easier. Yeah. I mean that's basic stuff that I as a high school football coach, we try to attack. Well, they're playing 2 high, they're playing 1 high. I mean, that's not any secret sauce. That's football, man.
Yeah,
I'm not making new plays out here. Joe Barry's not making new defenses. Everybody's stealing from everybody. It's about if you can be that efficient with 2 safeties high or 2 high safeties, I mean.
I like Coach Johnathan. Like I like that version of you coming out like in your zone, let it loose. I know you haven't coached in a few weeks. I can see you're having a little bit of withdrawals, so I'm glad that we can be this outlet.
Although it's kind of nice to have the extra time at home after a little bit of
you miss your wife.
After about a 3-4 month grind, it's nice to have that get home.
Well, I mean, you think about it every day after work, you go to practice. Friday nights automatically taken. Saturday film. It's a 6, and then Sunday you're prepping up for the new week, so that's a 7-day gig, and
we're not doing it for hardly any money.
Well, yeah, and then obviously you're dealing with high school kids like that. I wasn't.
It's half
baby, but
it's half babysitting.
No, yeah, exactly. So as we just talked about last week, the defense played great. Shut out Russell Wilson, the Seahawks, for the first time in Russell's career. Even when they were trying to score at the end, we put a clamp on them. John, speaking of clamped, DK Metcalf, 3 catches for 26 yards. What was he doing before he got ejected? And why was he crying out there? Like,
man, that guy seems to get in an argument with just about every corner he plays against every week. Yeah, I mean it'd been funny if Jair was out there because I mean Jair would be going at it with him from the beginning. He's not quite like Jalen Ramsey, but he won't.
He would have been silently.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved Savage getting up in his face. I love how Henry Black was the one that was the first one there. But Henry Black was just sitting there like
he's like, "What's this mother?"
And then I love the players all coming to his defense. But hey,
no, I love it. And then Stokes come in all fired up. I was like, "Yo, get your hands off my boy!" Like that's grabbing face mask. That's just so stupid. Like,
yeah, I mean, I get it. He's an incredibly good receiver. He really is. But he's an extremely emotional player. I mean, he gets affected by that type of stuff, and I get it. He's tired of losing, and he knows he's better than what the team that he's on, and so as a result, he's probably getting a little bit of, you can bully my team, but you can't bully me.
Which is true. I mean, you've seen him without his shirt off, that famous picture. I mean, I'm not gonna mess with him. So would I clamp him? Probably.
Yeah.
How many catches would he have on me? Maybe 3 or 4 for 10 yards. We'll see. Speaking of Seattle players crying, check out what Jamal Williams had to say after the game. He posted this on Twitter this week after his team took the L. In my opinion, this is the ultimate like Randy Moss. Like come on, man. Like don't most, if not all, players move on to their next opponent like on Monday, if not like Sunday night.
Yeah. Here's what I'll give it to him, Rob. Anyone that actually watched the game knows that, okay, yeah, dude, that interception was given. It was one of the worst throws you've seen Rodgers throw. If there was a top 30 worst throws in Aaron Rodgers' career, that'd be up there, I'm sure. Most careless throws, and that's. But hey, let the guy take his shine. He intercepted a ball versus a Hall of Fame quarterback at Lambeau Field. Let him take his shine, Rob. If that was you, you'd want to do the same thing too.
I would not.
I'll give it to him. Don't get me wrong. I know everyone wants to hate on him for it, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of, if he's sitting there going like, "Oh, this was an awesome moment," I'm gonna give it to him. If he's sitting there trying to talk
that shit, it's like, dude.
Yeah, if he's talking shit, then it's just like, really. But if he's sitting there going like, "What an awesome moment," now that I'll give him
that.
Yeah,
but meme that shit. So he must have gotten wrecked because obviously, like you said, Rodgers said it himself. The ball was thrown right to him. He then, of course, mocked the belt, and it turned out the way it usually does. A bad idea, as they obviously went on to lose the game. When will opposing players learn? I suppose if people just keep doing it, their team will eventually win. But it's like that.
Yeah, they maybe need to do
overdone
maybe do it in the fourth quarter when you're gonna win.
Yeah, I don't understand. And he probably made a tackle or two or some play later on in every game to where like, all right, I'm gonna wait till I end the game, and I don't know. He seems like a guy a couple years ago, was the best safety in the league. I know he got paid a lot, and now you just don't hear anything of him besides this. And then I saw, was it Monday night when the player intros or whatever, where he said I'm the best ever, and then a pick went off his face or something.
Yeah, I'll give him. He did make some good plays against Green. He did look like he had a solid game against Green Bay in some areas. I mean, he got Rodgers when Rodgers tried to boot coming towards him. He chased Rodgers down on another play. Did he? And then he chased him down on another bootleg. So I mean, whatever. He's a good player. He's a good player, but
he's a good player. Made a mistake and then doubled down on that mistake on Twitter, which it seems like he got wrecked on and ratioed on quite a bit. So, all right, Packers stock sale yesterday. So our football team, it's owned by the fans, by me and you, something that can't be said by any other sports team. And with that Yesterday was their sixth total stock sale in its history. Some people don't like it. Some say it's a waste of money, whatever. What are your thoughts, and why is it more than just a piece of paper? I love it. I love it. Let's go.
It probably has some information on there that although it's an old address. So
is the Barrington address?
Yeah, it's the Barrington address.
It's
okay. There's always a lot of arguments out there. Whether or not it's worth anything or not. Clearly, we can't resell it. Clearly, all they do is they have an intern or somebody type in our names and our address. I get that. They print off 300,000, then they mail them out. I get that. It's worthless.
$90 million, no big deal.
But part of the argument too, tweet number like 834 from Mike Florio about the Packers in the last week or two has been hating on the handling fees and blah blah blah. It's like, dude, really? We know what we're buying when we're buying it.
He acts like we're buying like a mystery box.
All these all these teams that want to build new stadiums, do all that, and they can't afford it, or they charge taxes to the people that live there.
Yeah.
This is literally the same thing as charging your people in your city taxes to build a new stadium, except they're asking us if we want to, and we do because it means something. Yeah, it's memorabilia. If you don't like it, don't buy it. I get it. I understand that it's worthless argument, but I think there's a lot the fact that it is an argument shows that it's worth something.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm with you. I think most people don't really understand the history behind the stock sales, obviously, and that's why they come out and look like fools. But it's kind of, it goes to show like how close the fans and the team's connection really is, like compared to other football teams. Like back in the 20s, 30s, I was watching the 100-year documentary earlier today. Like I watched 6 of the 10 of them. I've seen it I've seen it like 2 or 3 times through, and then I just started watching it again today because I remembered it had so much like information about the stocks and everything. And like back in the 20s, 30s, and 50s when they had them, it like legit saved the franchise. And without the money raised from the stock sales, it would have, there would be no Packers, or at least there wouldn't be a Packers in Green Bay. One of the stock sales, which I found is hilarious and funny at the same time, literally was for a fan in the stands who was injured, and then sued the Packers for $20,000. Obviously, $20,000 the Packers didn't have because that's back in the 50s, I think it was. So they ran a stock sale, was able to pay that and stay alive thanks to the fans who put forth their own money to support them. Most recently, the money goes towards renovations. I think it was something about the concourse, updates and new video boards. So I'm just grateful to be a Packers fan because the team isn't controlled by one person and one owner who can up and move the franchise or things like that, So if other fans of different teams give you hell and say it's a waste of money, just give them a little insight on our crazy one-of-a-kind history. A buddy of mine texted or snapped me the other day, was asking my 2 cents about it. And I knew he's a Steelers fan. I knew he probably didn't know, he probably didn't care one way or the other about it. He just was wondering my thoughts. Maybe he thought it was worthless and wanted to know my thoughts. I just kind of gave him a brief, what I just said there. It literally saved the team back in the mid-1900s. So maybe it doesn't mean as much now, but it meant everything, 60, 70 years ago.
Right. I guess it would be interesting to know what their plans would be, like total plans would be for the $90 million. I don't know. I've been off Twitter because I feel like we knew another one was coming, but like I didn't know as of a few weeks ago, and maybe
that was when I first found out.
What's that?
That's when I first found out. Was a few weeks ago that we were having one soon. And then I found out on Monday it's happening Tuesday, and I'm like,
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like out of nowhere. It's like, oh, it's happening tomorrow. It's like, what? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
it's weird, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe new video boards,
That's what I've heard.
I mean, here's what I will say. To be honest with you, the new the stadiums on the what was it, like the south end zone,
Yep.
like the new seats. I mean, that looks really good.
Oh, yeah.
So regardless, I'm 28 years old. I lived in Green Bay when I was 5 years old. So I've been at Lambeau when I was 5, when I was 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. And it looks really nice. So, I mean, I think it's a really good addition. It also, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's nice that Green Bay can keep the tradition of Lambeau Field, but then also continue to update it a little bit, because you also don't want to feel like you're going into a piece of shit,
Yeah. I mean, I know some fans would like to keep it like old school, like this is football, but at the same time, it's like when you actually go to the games, like you want to be able to like,
enjoy
go to
some
a nice
sort of,
bathroom or like get some good food or sit in decent seats. I know they're the same bowl seats, but it's like it's a nice stadium.
And then the atrium, they've redone that. The
Super
pro
nice.
shop. I mean, they've done a good job with a lot of the stuff.
Hall of Fame and everything.
If they continue to do,
it's paying off. Like it's not we're just giving money and it's not
and stuff like that too it can potentially help bring stuff like the draft, the NFL draft to Green Bay and whatnot. The money that they would pour into different things around the stadium or event.
Putting the atrium in, and now they can have weddings there and all that stuff, and like all those events that the community around it can use, and other teams or whatever they want to use during the week of, like that just helps us even more. So, anything else you want to say in the stock sale?
I got mine.
I got mine too. Not yet, but I will. So, from what I heard, it was the video boards and concourse updates. That's all I've heard.
Yeah.
So
who knows? Some high-end architect or whatever that's really good with what CAD will probably show us a 3-minute video in a year of what it's going to look like, and so.
No, I'm with you. All right, Aaron Rodgers in the offense, they played okay. Had some throws that were kind of right on the money, like the one to Lazard. He couldn't haul in. A lot of people are saying that he should have caught that. The guy's arm was like on his arm. It would have been a hell of a catch if he would have had it. And I feel like he's a guy that is way more than capable of making those. It's not like he's throwing it to Amari Rodgers or Juwan Winfrey or Malik Taylor. Those guys may have caught it. But Allen Lazard, it seems like he's always Mr. Reliable, I feel like. But he also had some throws that weren't so good. Him and Devontae were on the same page during some of that game. The one to Jones, like up the sideline that was behind him, that Jones dropped.
Did hit him in the hands, though.
Hit him in the hands. It did. He should have caught it.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice to see him catch it on the run. I think Rodgers was pressured, so maybe that has something to do with it. Anyways, overall, rode A.J. Dillon to victory. Had 2 touchdowns, 66 rushing yards, and the touchdown to give you the win in player pick'ems. You're now up 6-3. I was once up 3-0, and you've won 6 straight, and that's all I'll say about that. He was the one that carried us because obviously Aaron Jones went down. Mild MCL sprain. Looks like he'll be sidelined for 1 to 2 weeks, as we said. So for week 10, should we flip the page officially? 28 minutes in, we're flipping the page. As of right now, it's A.J. Dillon, Patrick Taylor in the backfield. Going into this weekend, we might have some addition from the practice squad, sign someone off the streets. Who knows? Le'Veon Bell went unclaimed today. Maybe we'll see him in a Packers uniform.
Carry on, Johnathan.
You never know. I think AJ's turned into an all-around back this season. That we've all seen him catching the ball. We've all seen him pass blocking, running inside the tackles, outside the tackles. You ready for the quad show this weekend? And is he the favorite in our pick'ems?
Is he the favorite?
Like, I know we got Devontae, but let's be real. He hasn't caught very many touchdowns.
Well, I mean, because I just feel like, when him and Aaron Jones are out there, you're going to see a little bit more split. And I know Patrick Taylor will take some carries and whatnot, but I feel like they're going to be somewhat forced to play AJ a little bit more than what the normal split would be, because of the obvious reasons of knowing the playbook, reliability, experience, and whatnot. So, yeah, he might be. I mean, you always know Devontae's up there, but, yeah, I mean, honestly, he could be a betting odds favorite.
betting odds favorite, but will you take him with your number 1 overall pick if you choose to
I
go
don't know.
first?
Maybe I won't take the first pick.
You're not going to take the first pick this week. I know it. I knew it. I freaking knew it.
You make that decision? I don't know. We'll see.
I get it. All right. It's week. It's shoot. It's week 11, isn't it? I'm an idiot. I said week 10. We're 8-2. So it's week 11. All right, week 11. Don't get my mistake up. Packers Vikings, the NFC North rival that's given us the most trouble over the last decade, at least in my opinion. And this weekend we're in Minnesota. They're 4-5. They led every game at some point during the season. Kirk Cousins quietly having a really good year. 18 touchdowns, 2 picks. They're a legit team, but have found ways to lose a couple games. The first game that Dalvin Cook fumbled when it really didn't look like a fumble, lost in that game. They came back against the Cardinals, missed a 36 to 39-yard field goal. They choked the game against the Ravens. Add that it's a division game in Minnesota, and this is shaping up to be, quite the matchup. My question to you, John, who's your one guy in the Vikings that can take over this game or wreck this game? Like, who's that one guy? I think we got the same guy. Let's be real here.
I don't know if we do.
Okay.
Because the only reason why I say that is because 6 weeks ago I would have told you without a doubt 100% would be Dalvin Cook. The reason being is because our run defense has been so bad for a few years. Well, that's changed this year, knock on wood. And run defense is good. So maybe it's not Dalvin Cook. Maybe they're not going to be able to run the game. I mean, I think the key to success is probably still going to be to stop Dalvin. I mean, but really for me, it's between him and Adam Thielen. I mean, I just think Thielen. As good as Justin Jefferson is, I just feel like every time I turn on the Vikings, Thielen's the one that's making the plays.
Yeah, he had a touchdown like the first 3 or 4 games this year. And, I mean, Justin Jefferson's the new, the young buck who's been doing super good. And obviously Thielen's been there for, a while now, and he's produced every single year. So, no, I get that. So who are you going with, Thielen?
He's just one. No, I think Dalvin Cook's the important one.
No, I'm with you. I'm also going with Dalvin. I think it comes down to him or Justin Jefferson, the opposite guy of your second guy. Their defense is good. They're missing Daniil Hunter. Otherwise, I'd consider him up there as well. Anthony Barr still play for that team, or?
Yeah, Anthony Barr almost won them their game last week.
Keyword almost.
Remember, he tipped the ball. We were talking. Was it last week or was it the week before? He tipped the ball and then intercepted the ball. I think it was this last week.
Yeah, against the Ravens.
Yeah, was it the Ravens this last week that they? No, they won against. Okay, so they won against the Chargers. We're talking the week before when they played the Ravens.
Oh, Chargers last week. Yep, no, you're right.
Yeah, they played the Chargers, and then the week before that was when we were playing. Yeah, and he made a big play there. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously not like the impact player that he was set out to be 5 years ago. Yeah,
he's kind of fallen off.
The biggest moment in Vikings history, hurting Aaron Rodgers.
My gosh, how embarrassing! I mean, just straight up, we've talked about this before. How embarrassing!
I'm surprised Clint from work, our graphic designer, hasn't made some sort of stupid art GIF meme of that this week for me, but that's probably because he knows better. I don't know. I don't think he does.
Does he? I don't know. We'll find out this weekend.
If Green Bay wins, I'm just gonna go into work on Monday like it's same old, same old. If the Vikings win, he's either gonna rub it in my face or he's gonna pretend and act like he didn't watch or something. But then again, if Green Bay wins, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I didn't see a play. I didn't watch a play."
He for sure. That's what I was just about to say. If they win, he's posting on Facebook. He's coming in the office all loud. If they lose,
wearing his he did wear his Vikings gear on Monday. I didn't even say anything to him about it.
You know he's wanting the comments so
Yeah,
bad.
you ain't gonna get a reaction out of me, buddy. Top dog right here. You're a
It's like
nobody.
that Michael Phelps photo where he's swimming and it's like winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners is the perfect
Yep.
it's perfect.
Yep.
All right.
Wanted to react. I didn't give him a word.
No, good. My guy Dalvin took over the game last year, and when we lost at home and when healthy, he's one of the best running backs in the league. Next up, this one pains me, man. Mason Crosby. Again, you've heard me say this way too many times. One of my favorite Packer players of all time. But there is something going on with him. I know the protection hasn't always been there for him this season, but he missed a 40-yarder last week pretty badly. Maybe it was the wind. The snap and hold and protection looked to be good. I didn't go back and watch it, but from the game cast looked to be good. Does he have the jitters or what's going on with him?
Yeah, I mean, I would go ahead and assume that he's lost a little bit. He's got to feel uncomfortable. I can't remember who asked. Was it yesterday's interviews? What's today? Today's Wednesday. I think it was yesterday's Matt LaFleur's interview. Somebody asked him, like, do you just think Mason's uncomfortable? I mean, he's got to be, right? I mean, he's got to be uncomfortable at this point because if it's not the line doing poor,
it's the hold.
It's the hold, and then oh shit, now it's my job to do my job, and then I failed.
It's windy as hell, and it's kind of cold, first cold game of the year, kind of and it's windy, I just don't understand because
he needs to. Yeah, they need to figure it the hell out. He's too much. He's been in this game too long. He's made too many big kicks.
As coach would say, he's a pro's pro.
Yeah,
and it's just tough to watch. It's
now,
like you said last week or the week before, we used to go out there, boom, automatic. Even the 49ers game.
Last year he was 16 for 16. I know that's not that many field goals attempted, but he didn't miss a field goal last year.
Like the Niners game, he was coming out for the field goal. I mean, I didn't know it was going in, but I had all the confidence in the world that it was going to go in. And even that one was inches away from getting blocked because our right side of the line, I'm not sure if it was Lancaster or Dean Lowry. Was it Lancaster who?
I don't remember at that
both
time.
sides that would have got blocked. And then Dennis Kelly, he wasn't out there because he was hurt earlier this year. But that almost got blocked. Can you imagine if that got blocked? We lost the Cincinnati game, both those games of field goals. Can you imagine? We'd be at best 6-4 solely to our field goal unit. We lost the game to the Chiefs, not because of the field goals solely, but it was a big part. That's I don't know. A lot of what ifs there and nothing that it matters, but just something fun to talk about. I don't know if I'm him, if I'm uncomfortable or somebody asked coach if it affects your decision making when going for it or kicking a field goal. And he said, not really. So he didn't say no. So you have to wonder, instead of going out there for a 45+ yard field goal and it's 4th and 5, let's go for it. Is that a good thing? I mean, I don't mind going for it on 4th more often.
You know what? You know what's kind of funny is somebody did ask a good question to LaFleur. They said, does knowing the struggles of our kicking team change the way you call the game? And LaFleur said,
that's what I was talking about.
And LaFleur said no, and he kind of deflected it. Yeah, but I was like, bullshit, because you know that if it's 3rd and 5 and you're on the 30-yard line and you don't trust that you're going to kick a field goal, you might still run the ball because 3rd and 5. Now, if you get 3 or 4 yards, you might be able to still run the ball then on 4th down. Or, hey, you totally failed. Now you know you're throwing the ball on 4th down. So it's got to change the way you call the game. I mean, I feel like he just in that moment wasn't really for as good of a question answer and interviewer.
He is good.
I feel like he probably wasn't really thinking that one through. Because that's bullshit. He's smarter than that.
No, he is. Now that we're talking about interviews, I didn't have this in here.
or he's really smart and he just says no because he wants to make sure that the kicker still has his confidence.
So he's thinking
Yeah.
it's like that meme. It's like that meme. He's like,
Yeah.
that's good.
He's like, yeah, good question. I know you're right, but I got to deflect.
Yeah, no, that's good by him. We're just gonna assume that that's what he did. Today, I was listening to the Rodgers interview. Packers reporter, I believe he works at the Green Bay Gazette, Ryan Wood, asked Aaron Rodgers. Let me get the exact quote. I thought it was an odd question that didn't really have any purpose, but hey, he's doing a job, whatever. He goes, any regrets going to the Halloween party unmasked given your vaccination status? And if you thought that might be where you contracted COVID, what would you say to that?
Well, I mean, asking the question today would have been different than asking the question a week ago, even though obviously he wasn't available a week ago. Because he has said multiple times, I'm not going to talk with it to the media anymore. I'm done talking to it. And he's the type, I mean, it was a worthless question. I get what he was poking, and that's what all he was doing is he was poking. I mean,
I get
you
it.
weren't going to get that answer from him. I mean, come on. He knows better at this point to argue back because he'd just tell you that, I mean, he would go into his spew about when and when you don't contract everything. So
no, I get it. He said, I don't believe that's where I contracted COVID. No, I tested negative that morning, meaning I think the party was on Sunday, and he said he tested negative Tuesday, tested negative Monday, tested negative on Tuesday, and then Tuesday night was when he was feeling not good, and then Wednesday was when he obviously tested positive. He goes, I don't believe that's where I contracted COVID. No, I tested negative that morning, and that's all I'm going to say about it, and was done. So, yeah, a weird question that I don't think it's offending anybody. I just feel like, when you're a reporter, you are asking questions with intent and like with a purpose to maybe write something off of that, or, to add to a story or start a story with, or just because you're curious. This question I felt like was just pointless or I don't know, just
poorly timed.
Yeah.
It was too late. It was too late to ask a question like that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay. Moving on. As we said a second ago, Vikings are 4-5. Packers are 8-2. If the Packers win, they basically clinch the division. Not quite, but almost. And if the Vikings win, can really catapult them back into not only the playoff race, but possibly the NFC North race, as we do face them again at home towards the end of the year. We could, they win this game. They're 5-5. We're 8-3. We're only separated by 3 games, and they have a win over us. We lose 1 or 2 more. They win 1 or 2 more. We're only a game separate, and that leaves that one game, with us towards the end of the year, becoming huge at Lambeau. As Coach said during his presser today, they're going to give us their best shot, but we're also going to give them our best shot. What's your key for the Packers to win? I know you touched on it earlier. What's your key for us to get a win this weekend?
You know what that is?
I do.
That's 0 points.
I didn't have any clue what you were going with there. I just said I do.
Get 0 points. That's our key, Rob.
0 points and we at least tie.
0 points and we can't lose.
Can you ever imagine a 0-0 tie in today's game?
Oh man, no.
That would be unbelievable.
I mean, the key to it has to be probably to continue to play good defense, because no matter what, I just feel like if the defense keeps holding teams under 24 points,
we're winning the Super Bowl, baby.
It's going to be hard for us to not win the majority, if not all of the games. I mean, I don't see us losing games, where teams are
10.
Yeah. I mean, I know we lost one 13-7, but you know what that was all about 2 weeks ago.
Asterisk next to that one. So,
yeah.
And even without Rodgers, we should have won with the field.
Yeah, and obviously they've had the struggles, and the offense has been underperforming as far as, I mean, if I were to be honest, compared to last year. I mean, I feel like that's I mean, that's no.
It's not good. I mean, last year we were the number one offense in the league. We're scoring 80% chance in the red zone. Like,
yeah. So I mean, it's just the defense has got to be steady. Stop the run. But then again, who knows? That passing, they've got a good passing game, so they could do that. Really same old.
They have the weapons. Do they have the discipline? For the most part, yeah, but it seems like they always find ways to lose the game, like we were talking about earlier. First game of the year, Dalvin fumbles. It's really close whether it's a fumble or anyways, but they're in overtime with the Bengals like we were. Then they lose the Cardinals. They were up in that game most of the time. Then Cardinals score late. They miss the field goal. They lose to the Ravens. I think they were up 17-3 at one point. It's tough to be a Vikings fan. It always has, and hopefully it always will. My key for the Packers to win this weekend is our D-line play. Very similar to what you said. Overall, we'll see if Rashawn can go. And if he can't, that leaves us pretty thin at edge rusher. Obviously, Merciless is done for the year. And with the trio of Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and Adam Thielen, whatever one you want to put in there. I mean, that's a pretty good – that's like a – they probably have one of the best wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 combos in the league. Maybe it's up behind the Titans if Julio is healthy, but still.
I mean, maybe if we're having troubles without Gary whenever getting pass rush from the outside, maybe we see a little bit more slot corner blitzes or something like that.
Yeah.
To get a little bit.
Henry Black likes to hit, so I would love to see him going after Kirk Cousins. Pressure Kirk Cousins, control line of scrimmage, and we will come away with a victory. Up next, John, my favorite segment, because you boys just been hitting on these under the radar guys. Like I know I've been calling for guys to get picks like every week, and I've been right twice. But come on.
If I were you, Rob, I would take those snips out of each time you've said it, and then take those plays out of each of the game and sit and brag. But that's up to you whether or not you want to be humble or not. Because last time you bragged, you were up 3-0 in the pick'ems and lost 6 straight.
Hey.
But if I were you, I'll give you credit where credit's due. You called Adrian Amos. You called Razul's pick. You called Josiah's plays on third down. I can't think of what else ones, but I mean,
you've been calling some good too.
You got Hey, my over-unders have been damn good.
They've been super close. And the play you alluded to last week, I think happened earlier in the game. Who was that?
It was whether or not MVS was going to get it was the over-unders of MVS getting the big plays. And what happened?
Just one catch.
Got one big early, and then we tried for him again. We did get a few over 20 yards because there's probably screen passes. So those aren't necessarily. I mean, they're passes.
That AJ Dillon screen pass that you rumbled and wrecked.
Well, I mean, those aren't really you and me. What we had in mind were shot plays.
25 air yards.
Yeah, I mean, and we threw 2 of them to Lazard. Lazard had 2 shot plays. MVS had 2 shot plays or 3 maybe. So they were there. But yeah, so that was kind of the over under. And I mean, it was whether or not the 1.5 for MVS, were we going to get 2 deep ball catches or 1? You got 1.
I think I went over, maybe not. I went over because I'm probably optimistic.
You went over on the 20-yard plays. I don't know. I can't remember if you went over on the 1.5, but yeah.
No, I get it. So who's your under the radar guy?
Aaron Rodgers? No.
I got mine locked in. You want me to go ahead?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Chris Barnes. John. We're going to need him to keep plugging those holes against Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison.
Yeah.
Whenever Dalvin's hurt, that guy seems to step in and he looks exactly like him. They both have longer hair, and he seems to step in and do just fine. So I think he'll come up big with a turnover this game. I was right last week, so let's keep it going, huh? Chris Barnes is going to have an interception.
A forced fumble, maybe.
No. Chris Barnes interception off of Kirk Cousins. Book it. Believe it.
Oh,
Speak it into existence, baby.
You just, I mean, this one's very unlikely. It ain't gonna happen. Won't happen.
Micah Hyde. I guess that was Bridgewater.
Clip it. You can clip it if it happens, but Chris Barnes is not getting an interception on Sunday.
Okay.
But okay.
That's my guy, Chris Barnes, under the radar. Gonna have a big game. 10 tackles, 1 pick, maybe a tackle for loss, maybe another goal line stuff or goal line stop like he had against the Kansas City Chiefs on the sidelines, where he put the smack down on them boys, huh? Who's your guy, John?
Under the radar guy.
I've given you like 10 minutes to think about it now.
Yeah, let's go with who Rodgers keeps calling Sullivan. Let's go with Sullivan. That's gonna be my under the radar. Make a big play, because what I told you is maybe we need a little bit of rushing. Maybe he comes from a blitz from the corner, inside corner, and he forces that fumble on Kirk Cousins. That's my under the radar play right there.
Let's do it. All right, you got Chandon.
Third and 7, big play. He's gonna come on that blitz.
What if they both happen? Hey, we gotta go. We're not betting guys, but we're heading to the casino afterwards. If they both happen, especially if Chris Barnes gets a pick, like, come on.
Chris Barnes ain't getting no pick.
Okay.
That's not it. His strong point is not that.
All right. We'll wait and see on Sunday at noon. Should we hop into predictions and then close it down? We're running about 52 minutes here.
Yep.
Sound good? I'll let you go ahead and go first for this one.
Go ahead. Okay. What are we? 2.5 point favorites away?
So, yes.
I feel like, and I could be wrong, was the over under 49? Do you know what if it was at 49 points?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I feel like I saw that, and I'm gonna hey, your Milwaukee Bucks are tied with the Lakers. Sorry to be off topic.
No, you're good. I also know that Giannis is wrecking, and AD is pooping, like not doing good whatsoever, which doesn't surprise me. One of them's the best player in the NBA. One of them's an overrated big man. So that's that.
Yeah. So I see Green Bay when I type on ESPN. They're favored by 2, but I was just trying to see if they had the over under listed, because it's at 49. The over under is at 49.
So 25-24 game is what.
Yeah, well, so they're predicting like 26-24 type game.
Yep.
Green Bay games have just been on the under all year. They just really have. The offense hasn't scored. Offense hasn't scored as many points as everybody thought, and the defense has been a lot better than everybody thought. So it just keeps hitting that under. So
you going over or under?
I'm going under.
Yeah, I'm going under too. I'm thinking it's like a. No, I'm not giving my prediction away. It's your turn.
I'm gonna go with 24-20. 24-20. No, 24-21 game-winning field goal from Mason Crosby.
Can you imagine? I would love to see that happen. In U.S. Bank, pressure. It's loud as heck in there. Rodgers has said it. A lot of players have said it.
That would just kill the Vikings' hearts.
It's so loud in there. Like they're there. They have a chance to get back in the division in the playoff race.
24-21. We're gonna get to the 4-yard line, and Mason Crosby is gonna have a chip shot. We're gonna fail at the 4-yard line. I'm gonna be throwing my hat across the room, kicking shit, pissed off that we couldn't put the ball in the end zone, and we're gonna have a chip shot, like 32-yard field goal, something like that. 30-yard field goal. If that shit got blocked, you miss. I'd just call it curtains. But let's go with 24-21, 24-20. Is kind of where I'm at right now.
All right, let's do it.
24-21 is wishful thinking of wanting to hit a game-winning field goal, but I'm gonna say let's go 24-20. That was my initial.
You got them both. All right. As I told you earlier, it's a massive game. It doesn't really seem like it because, like, I feel like a lot of the news this week is Packers stock our defense, from this last weekend. Like the Packers Vikings week vibes haven't really been there up until right before I was on Twitter. I saw some loser Vikings fan posting some stuff, not even important enough to elaborate on. But I don't want to see the Vikings in the playoffs like at all. And the way we can help them miss the playoffs is to beat them on Sunday. So if we lose Sunday, their chances to make an increase. Excuse me. That is not okay with me. You know how they operate. They'll go on some fluke run, win like 6 of 6 or 7 of 8 games, be a tough out if they do indeed make it. So I'd rather just have them play 17 games this year, and that's it. I'm a little worried we might come out a little flat with everything that's happened the last few weeks, and we didn't look like we had a lot of energy on Sunday against the Seahawks. But us not having a bye week yet, it's been a long first half of the season. Good thing we got a defense, though, because that's kind of what's giving me some comfort. I'm picking us to win by 15 or more points, John. Is that optimistic?
Yeah, it's being a homer.
We're going on the road without our guys, but we're going to get this done. Packers 31, Vikings 14. We're up.
Oh, Jesus.
We're up 28-7 late in the game. We kick a field goal. They get a garbage time touchdown. 31-14 Packers win in US Bank without half our team. I love it.
I hope that is your one prediction that is right this week, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. 24-20 for me. I'm a little over giving Green Bay those 30-point games anymore.
They got to get one at some point, don't they?
I know they just haven't. They've underperformed. I mean, and they should have had 30 plus against Arizona, and you know how that went. But
no, I get it. You ready to close this thing down?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. All right, thanks everybody for watching, commenting. We love chatting Packers with you guys, and we're on every Wednesday and before every game talking with you guys about everything going on surrounding the team. Follow us on Twitter at Rob Westerman3 for myself, at JBeckman30 for John. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys later. Thank you.